What if everything you think you know about Elon Musk is only the surface? Just the loud, public, camera-ready version of a man whose real power exists in places no one ever sees. What if the rockets, the Teslas, the viral tweets, and the billionaire rankings are merely distractions from a shadow network of influence worth more than $100 billion? An empire he never brags about, never showcases, and never fully explains. What if Musk's most significant wealth isn't measured in dollars, companies, or market caps, but in access, leverage, and systems quietly built behind the scenes? Imagine an empire woven through private jet routes instead of boardrooms, engineered in code instead of concrete, powered by supercomputers instead of skyscrapers. An empire that governs how cars move, how satellites talk, how money flows, how information spreads, and how the future itself is shaped. Why does Musk operate so much of his life beyond public view? What hidden structures fuel his decisions? And what parts of his empire are so influential, so integrated into modern life, that most people don't even realize they depend on him? This is the side of Elon Musk he never puts on stage. The empire he built in silence, yet the entire world runs on it. Humble beginning. Elon Reeve Musk was not born into the world he now commands. He fought his way into it. His story begins in Pretoria, South Africa, a place far removed from Silicon Valley boardrooms, private spaceports, and the nearly $752 billion fortune he controls. Born in 1971 to a South African engineer father and a Canadian model and nutritionist mother, Musk's childhood was defined by contrast, a brilliant mind trapped inside a lonely environment. He was bullied so relentlessly that he was once hospitalized, yet his imagination never bowed to the world around him. At 12, he coded and sold a video game called Blastar, a tiny preview of the empire he would eventually build. South Africa, weighed down by apartheid and mandatory military service, felt like a cage. At 18, Musk escaped, first to Canada, then to the United States, the place he believed the future actually existed. At Queen's University, and later at the University of Pennsylvania, he devoured physics and economics. Not for the degrees, but for the frameworks behind reality. How energy works, how markets shift, how systems can be broken and rebuilt. His time at Stanford lasted precisely 2 days. Academia moved too slowly, and the internet revolution was exploding just outside the classroom walls. Musk refused to sit and observe history. He wanted to write it. From that urgency rose PayPal, Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, X Corp, XAI, and more. But the empire people can see, the rockets, the cars, the satellites, is only the surface. The true power lies in the invisible network beneath it, the one shaping the future in ways the world is only beginning to understand. The private jets. Elon Musk does not travel like a CEO. He travels like a moving command center, a geopolitical force whose decisions ripple across industries and continents. At the heart of his airborne empire sits the Gulfstream G650ER, a jet so advanced and so elite that it represents the pinnacle of private aviation. With a staggering range of nearly 14,000 kilometers, it allows Musk to jump from Texas to Berlin, from California to Tokyo, without ever touching the ground. His schedule is global, relentless, and stitched together from the sky at 40,000 feet. Inside the G650ER, luxury blends with science fiction practicality. The cabin is wrapped in handcrafted leather and polished veneers, yet the true extravagance lies in its technology. Musk's jet is equipped with encrypted communication systems that allow him to run Tesla, SpaceX, X, and XAI simultaneously, while slicing through the atmosphere at near supersonic speed. The lie-flat seats convert into full beds, humidity levels adjust automatically, and circadian lighting mimics sunrise and sunset to erase jet lag. Even the air filtration system is aerospace grade, cycling fresh air every few minutes. And then there is the Gulfstream G700, a craft often described as a penthouse with wings. with whisper-quiet engines, a master suite, a cinematic entertainment system, and panoramic windows that flood the cabin with natural light. It is the definition of airborne luxury. For Musk, these jets are not an indulgence. They are mobility weapons, extensions of his power, his schedule, and his unprecedented reach. Other billionaires collect vacation homes. Musk collects flight hours. For him, the sky is not a route. It is part of the empire he rules. The car collection. Despite building the world's most famous electric vehicle company, Elon Musk's garage is one of the strangest, most eclectic collections on Earth. It mirrors not wealth, but evolution. There's the original Tesla Roadster, the car that launched Tesla into the world, and the same model he later strapped to a SpaceX rocket and launched into space, now drifting somewhere in the solar system with a mannequin behind the wheel. There's his Cybertruck, a vehicle that looks like it escaped from a video game. Musk uses it as his daily driver, treating it not as a symbol of wealth, but as a rolling prototype for the future of automotive engineering. But the collection goes far deeper, far more personal. There's the 1967 Jaguar E-Type series, one Roadster, the car Musk once described as the most beautiful car ever made. There's the 1987 BMW 320i, his first car, humble yet meaningful, representing a life before the empire. And then there's the legendary McLaren F1, a supercar so rare and so powerful that Musk treated it like a rocket on wheels, until he famously crashed it while uninsured. The car was repaired, and the story became part of Silicon Valley folklore. He also owns the Lotus Esprit S1, Wet Nelly, the submarine car from the James Bond film The Spy Who Loved Me. Purchased at auction, it reflects his love of science fiction and dreams that blur into reality. And then there's the strangest piece of all, the Aero L-39 Albatross, a Russian fighter jet he learned to fly. Most billionaires buy yachts. Musk buys machines that bend physics. His garage is not about luxury. It is about vision, the past, present, and future of transportation, all in one empire, the business empire. If Musk's luxury assets form the skeleton of his invisible empire, his companies form the beating heart. Each one is a universe. Each one targets a problem other people have abandoned. Tesla redefines transportation and energy storage. SpaceX aims not to compete with NASA, but to replace it. Neuralink reaches into the human brain, seeking to connect neurons to machines. The Boring Company digs tunnels to reduce urban congestion. And xAI attempts to build artificial intelligence capable of understanding the universe itself. Most billionaires pick one industry. Musk picks civilization-level problems. Tesla didn't simply build electric cars, it transformed global manufacturing, battery technology, and energy culture. What began as a company survived against impossible odds and grew into a symbol of technological rebellion. Tesla models now dominate roads worldwide, and Musk continues to push for cleaner, more autonomous systems. SpaceX is perhaps the most ambitious of all. Rockets that can land themselves. Starship is the most enormous spacecraft ever built. Plans for Mars colonization. Satellite networks like Starlink are transforming global internet access. SpaceX is not a company. It is the foundation for a multiplanetary empire. X Corp, formerly Twitter, is his attempt to turn a chaotic social media platform into an everything app, merging communication, payments, AI, and identity. It is messy. It is controversial, but Musk attempts to redesign digital society. Neuralink steps into the human brain, aiming to restore movement to paralyzed patients and, eventually, merge human intelligence with artificial intelligence. The Boring Company digs tunnels for future transit networks. PayPal wrote the early rules of internet payments. OpenAI, which he co-founded before launching xAI, attempts to shape the future of artificial intelligence. Each venture is a frontier. Each venture is a risk. Each venture is a declaration that the future belongs to those willing to build it. This part of Musk's empire is not invisible. It is unavoidable. Elon Musk is not simply a businessman. He is a contradiction. A futurist obsessed with ancient engineering. A minimalist surrounded by machines worth millions. A man constantly criticized, yet constantly imitated. His invisible empire spans continents, skies, industries, and even planets. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden worlds of the world's most powerful figures.